and all.
Good evening, brother.
Okay.
Good evening, brother.
C.G. Thomas, one of the OIT aspirants from EduSkills family. Today, our discussion part is writing, OIT 2.0 writing, day 4. In today's task is day 4 letter, Gerald Becker. Gerald Becker's letter we are going to discuss today. Before that, before starting the discussion, I just want to tell you a few things. Father has taken already 5 classes, 5 Zoom sessions regarding writing module. I think you know about that. And he has uploaded the videos in YouTube. So I request all of you, please watch all these videos. So this might be, definitely it will help you all in your writing. So I can mention you what are the videos here. The first videos, what he said, uploaded in the YouTube. I mean, the first Zoom session taken here in this platform, it is writing strategies and tips. In this video, he was wonderfully explained regarding how you can write in OET reading with the help of ISBAR. ISBAR, you all are knowing, it is an international communication tool for among healthcare professionals. He has explained wonderfully. So please go through with that video. The second video is step-by-step writing. In that one, he has explained how well you can write the letter in step-by-step and how to organize the paragraph. And the third video, writing grammar step-by-step. Very well explained again regarding OET grammar. And the fourth one, how to write an introductory paragraph. So how to write different kinds of introduction with purpose. How to initiate the purpose. So in the first video itself, he given a clear idea regarding how to write the introduction, how to initiate, how to choose the main issue and or chief complaint, details of the patient, and the situations. So he clearly mentioned in his videos. In the fourth video, introductory, different types of introduction, how we can write different type of introduction, different methods he introduced here in that video. So please watch that video so you can write different types of introduction in each letter. The fifth one, fifth video was fall in love with writing case notes. So he has taken a particular case note and very well explained how to select case notes, relevant, irrelevant, semi-relevant, how you can choose all those things, and how you can make use of relevant data in your OET writing. So these 5 Zoom sessions, he have given a very good idea about OET writing. So you cannot get any more information from anywhere in the world. I am damn sure that. So please watch his 5 videos multiple times and make use of the information from his videos, and you can finally write a A-class letter. As father always saying, you are aiming for B, but aim for A, so you can write A-class letter. So here we don't have much time to explain all these strategies, ISBAR, and how to write introductory paragraph and all. We have explained in the platform many times, and you can watch the videos. So let's move forward to discuss with the writing task, yesterday's writing task, that the one we are discussing today. I think all of you written the letter and posted in the platform. Am I right? So, you all are already how to write the letter. I don't need to explain it more. I think 3 case notes were already discussed here in the platform. And Sister Sound has taken a wonderful class, wonderful session regarding writing 2 days back. In her class, she was explained the 15 concerns among the OET aspirants very well. So no point in repeating anything. So just we can go through with the writing task. So I will share my screen. Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, brother.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So this is today's task. Yesterday's task, and today we are discussing this particular case note. This is one of the basic case notes we have seen in OET journey. The first case note, Gerald Becker. Most of the OET aspirants starting with this letter. So all are familiar with the case note. Now we will go through the case note and how we will deal with the case note. So in the exam, we will get the case note, the question paper in your hand. We have 5 minutes to read the case note in the beginning. That time we are not allowed to take pen or pencil with us. So we cannot mark anything. So these 5 minutes we can read the case note carefully and plan in your mind how we will write the letter. So when you will get a case note in your hand, in my opinion, the first thing you have to do, you have to read 2 things. The first one, from my opinion, it is you just read the notes. The beginning of the case notes, you can see the notes along with the date of the letter for writing. The case note first they will give. Assume that today's date is so and so date. Here it is 7 September 2018. And the notes they will give. The notes, they will give 1, 2, or 3 sentences. So read the notes first, then go to the last part of the writing task, a case note. You can see the writing task. Then read the writing task. So we will get our needed information to write the introductory paragraph from here. So from today, this case note, we will read the notes first. See here in the notes, is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
brother.
sir.
Okay. See, I will read the notes for you. Assume that today's date is 7 September 2018. Mr. Gerald Becker is a 79-year-old patient on the ward of the hospital in which you are a charge nurse. So from the case note, we came to know who is our patient. This information we need to know to write the introductory paragraph. So from here we will get who is our patient and who are you? I mean, who is the person writing the letter? So we are charge nurse. These 2 information we will get. Then we will move to the writing task, the last of the case note. So I will read the writing task for you. using the information in the case note, write a letter to Ms. Samantha Bruin, senior nurse at Grey Walls Nursing Home, 27 Station Road, Grey Walls, who will be responsible for Mr. Baker's continuing care at the nursing home. So from the case note, writing task, we will get the most of the remaining information to write the introductory paragraph. Here they are given for whom we are writing. I mean, who is the reader? This is Samantha Broom. She is a senior nurse at Grey Walls Nursing Home, and the address of the nursing home is given, which is needed for us to write the beginning of the letter. Then she will be responsible for the continuing care of Mr. Baker. So our purpose is given here as continuing care. So you got your purpose and whom you are writing. So from this case note, you came to know that this Mr. Baker is moving to nursing home. So we are not sure it is a known case or unknown case. So for that, we have to read the entire case note from the beginning, then we will know. I think you all written this letter already, so you know it is a known case or unknown case. So let's move back to the case note. Okay. So after reading these notes and the writing task, we have to start reading the case note from the beginning. So then we can select the necessary information what we need to write. So let me read the case note from the beginning. Notes already we have finished, so we will start reading from the patient details. Patient name is given in the beginning of the letter. So its marital status, widower, 8 years. Admission date, 3rd September 2018, in the City Hospital. Discharge date, 7th September 2018. Reason for admission, 4th September 2018. Left total hip replacement. Elective surgery, worsening osteoarthritis, difficulty in mobilizing and climbing stairs. Social background, lives at Grey Walls Nursing Home. No children, employed as radio engineer until retirement age 65. Now aged pensioner. Hobbies given here: chess, radio operator. Sister Dawn Mason, 66. Visit regularly. We support him. Plays chess with Baker on her visits. No signs of dementia observed. Medical background given here: 2016 osteoarthritis requiring total hip replacement surgery. 1989 hypertension ongoing management. 1985 Colles fracture. Medications: aspirin 100 mg, Mane, recommended post-operatively. Panadine 4, paracetamol 550 mg plus codeine 30 mg. 2 QID, PRN. Nursing management and progress. Daily dressing. Surgery, incision site. Range of motion. Stretching and strengthening exercise. Occupational therapy. Staplers to be removed in 2 weeks. Which means in 21st September. Also follow up FBC and UEC test at City Hospital Clinic. Assessment. Good mobility post-operation. Weight bearing with use of wheelie walker. Walks length of the ward without difficulty. Post-operative disorientation, time and place during recovery, possibly related to anesthetic. Continued observation recommended. Dropped HB postoperatively to 72 gram per deciliter. Requiring transfusion 3 units of packed RBC cells. HB stable 112 gram per deciliter. On discharge, ongoing monitoring required for anemia. Discharge plan, monitor medication, Panadine Fort, preserve skin, continue exercise program, equipment required, wheelie walker, wedge pillow, toilet riser, hospital to provide walker and pillow, hospital social worker organized 2-week hire of riser from local medical supplier. Writing task we already read. Again, we can read if you need. Using the information in the case note, write a letter to Ms. Samantha Bruin, senior nurse at Grey Walls Nursing Home, 27 Station Road, Grey Walls, who will be responsible for Mr. Baker's continuing care at nursing home. So after reading the case note, entire case note, we got an idea regarding whether it is a known case or unknown case. What is your opinion? It is known or unknown case?
Known case.
Known case.
Okay. It's a known case because in the social background it is given he lives at Grey Walls Nursing Home 4 years. So last 4 years he was a resident of the same nursing home where we are writing. That means he was admitted to the hospital from this nursing home, and after discharge he is going back to the same nursing home. So they knows the patient very well and his history, medical history, social background, all necessary information related to him before he is admitting the hospital. The authority from the nursing home, they know. So we have to give them only the necessary information and the care and the things which is happened in the hospital. So we can select the relevant and semi-relevant details to write our letter. So how we can select? Again, we can select depends upon the reader whom we are writing. What are the things the reader needs? We have to write only that things. But these things we have to select and organize and write according to his bar. So from this case note, okay, we will check what are the informations we needed to write this particular letter. Gerald Becker, patient name and age. It is given here. Of course, today's date that we need. Then you are a charge nurse. That is also the needed information for us, relevant information. From the patient details, marital status, widower 8 years, admission, this marital status is not needed for us because he is a widower that already then the nursing home authorities. Admission date to city hospital, this is semi-relevant. I can say it is semi-relevant. If you need, you can write. If you don't need, no need to write. Because somebody must have brought the patient to the hospital from the nursing home and then the admission date. So it is not necessary. Discharge date, it is necessary for us. It is a relevant information. Because, and we are writing on this day. Or then reason for admission. This is our necessary information. Patient is admitted here in the hospital for a left total hip replacement. It was an elective surgery. So they know the information he is admitted here for this one. But this is our most relevant data of the patient. So we need to include this in the introductory paragraph. So it is a relevant information. Then worsening osteoarthritis, difficulty in mobilizing and climbing stairs. These are information which they might know, so it is not a relevant information. Social background, social history they know already. Actually, no need to read the social history, and their social history we can exclude. It is not a relevant data here in this particular letter. Nothing is relevant here. Medical background, again, in 2016, osteoarthritis. This is already past information and they know these things, so we can exclude this. Hypertension, and he is on ongoing management. This is also an old history, so no need to write. And Colles fracture, once in a, what we can say, once in a blue moon. So he had a fracture. It is in 1985. It is not a relevant information for us in this particular letter. Then medication, aspirin 500 mg every morning. He is taking this one, but this aspirin once in a day he is taking. This is since he has this hypertension or other osteoarthritis, they started this aspirin. But here it is given in the bracket, recommenced post-operatively, which means aspirin has to stop at least 5 days before a major surgery. So they definitely stopped the aspirin, and it is recommenced post-operatively in the operation, the post-operative ward. So it is a semi-relevant information. We can include this one as aspirin recommenced. But you cannot write aspirin commenced, you must write recommenced post-operatively if you are writing. Then Ramipril, it is regular medication, it is not needed. Panadyne Forte, paracetamol 500 mg plus codeine 30 mg to QID PRN. This is for the pain. They must started in the hospital. This is a relevant information, and this needs to continue in if he has pain or anything. They are given as PRN medicine. PRN means whenever necessary, you can give. To Panadyne Forte QID means every 6th hourly you can give 4 times in a day, but they have mentioned PRN. So if patient is having pain, we can give, but not less than 6 hours gap. Once you given, at least another 6 hour gap, you need to give the second dose. So this is a necessary information. I think you can include in your letter. Nursing management and progress. Here they have given daily dressing, surgery incision site. We received this dressing in post-operative ward, so we must include. This is relevant information. Range of motion, stretching and strengthening exercise, and occupational therapy also provided for him in the hospital. So we must write these informations. These are our relevant information. Staplers to be removed in 2 weeks, 21 September. Patient is discharging now, and 21st September, his stapler is to be removed. So this is for the future. We must include this in this information in our recommendation paragraph. So it is also relevant data. Also follow up FDC and UEC test at City Hospital Clinic. So he has to do this follow-up blood test. Also a relevant information we must include in our letter. Then assessment. Good mobility post-operatively. He has good mobility. This semi-relevant information. weight bearing with use of wheel walker, walks length of the ward without difficulty. So this is our assessment, this mobility post-operatively and how much he can walk, the ability of his mobility. This is our assessment. We can include in the assessment part. In the ISBAR, we have assessment. So this we can include these things. Post-operative disorientation, read time and place during recovery, possibly related to anesthetic. This is immediately after the surgery. It was happened in the hospital, so we can include all those things. Then continue observation, recommended dropped HB post-operatively. So HB has dropped. Transfusion of 3 units packed RB, packed red blood cells. And now it is stable. I mean, during discharge time, it is 112. It is stable. So these informations we have to include. Then ongoing monitor, recurring for anemia. So even though his HB is corrected, we need to monitor him for anemia. So this is also included. This is also relevant information. It is a recommendation to monitor for anemia. Discharge plan, monitor medications, Panadine 4, and preserve his skin integrity. These all recommendations. Continue exercise program. This is a recommendation. What they are given in the recommendation paragraph, we must include in the include our letter. So now I think now you all got an information. What are the necessary information we have to include in our letter today? Do you have any doubt in selecting these informations? Any difference in opinion? Is my screen is visible to everyone?
Yes, brother.
Okay, we will move to how to write this letter. Letter writing, it's you have to write in your own sentences. And Father has given wonderful classes regarding how to write and grammatical issues. So how to write the introductory paragraph here? What are the things we need to select for writing introduction? Can anyone answer me? Okay, tell me how to initiate this letter.
I am writing to update.
I am writing to update. This is a known letter, so you can known case, so you can write. I am writing to update. Okay, I am writing to update you. Okay, regarding or about.
Mr. Baker.
Okay, Mr. Gerald Becker. You can write like that, or you can write, I am writing to update you regarding the current health status of Mr. Gerald Becker. So it's up to you how you are initiating the letter. You can initiate in your own way. First step is initiation. Then you have to include the patient details. Mr. Gerald Becker. Then you can give a comma.
Who requires
Okay. Okay.
continuing care?
Right. If you need, you can write the age here. But in the case note, they are given only age. If they are giving date of birth and age together, then in the reference, you can write the age. After that, you can write the date of birth. In that particular case, you can write the age in the introductory paragraph. It is not necessary to write, but if they are giving both age and date of birth, you can include date of birth in the reference and age here in the recommendation paragraph. Here only age is given. So in my opinion, no point in repeating again in the introductory paragraph.
Hello, brother.
Yes.
Can we write Mr. Gerald Baker is being referred back to you for ongoing care and monitoring?
You can write according to your pattern, how you want to initiate, you can write this is there is nothing is mandatory in OET writing. You must
Okay.
write in certain way. It is not like that.
Okay, sir. Okay,
You
brother.
can initiate in any way, whichever convenient for you, but it should be all 4 details should be included. You must initiate in a better manner. You must include patient details. You must include his chief complaints or main issue and the purpose of the letter. These 4 things you must include in the letter. That's all. It is,
Okay, brother.
writing the introductory paragraph is depends.
Okay.
But these 4 information must be included in the letter. So the reader, if he will read the introductory paragraph, from this paragraph itself, he should know almost all the details of the patient without reading the remaining paragraph. So what I have to do for the patient next, only from the recommendation paragraph, introduction and recommendation paragraph, with this, he has to get all the information regarding the patient. In such a way, you have to write your introduction. If you are writing introduction in a good way, an A-class introduction, as father told, introduction 0 to 3 marks. So your introduction should be fine introduction. So you must include all the relevant information needed for the particular letter.
Brother, is it recommended to write the discharge date in the introduction part?
No, it's not recommended to write the discharge date. It is not necessary.
Okay, so it should be right following his discharge or like that? After his discharge or following his discharge?
It's again depends how you are writing your introductory paragraph. If you are able to add that one, you can add. Whether you are discharging the patient or whether you are transferring the patient, whether you will be discharging the patient. It depends on the case note, because in some letter you will not have either discharge or transfer or anything. So that particular letter, maybe your patient is in the hospital, you are writing to a specialist to come and see him in your ward. So in that letter, you don't have any information like that, whether no transfer, no discharge. So you are not writing. Same way, even in the discharge, if without that one, your introductory paragraph is fine, then okay.
Okay.
Most of the letter, I think it is better to include like following discharge, he will be discharging, or he is due for discharge. It is better to add if you are comfortable. So how you can write a complete introduction here?
Shall I read, brother?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm writing to update the current health status of Mr. Gerald Baker, who has undergone total left hip replacement. He requires continuing care and monitoring following his discharge today.
Okay.
How is it, brother? How is it?
It's your introduction, am I right? You wrote like,
Just now.
who is this?
It's Jaswin Joseph, yes. It's my
Joseph.
son name. Yeah.
It's okay. So you wrote, I am writing to update.
The current health status of Mr. Gerald.
Okay. Current health status of Mr. Gerald Baker. It's okay. You
Yes.
can write like that, but
Yeah. It is who has undergone it, correct or not, brother?
which one?
Who has undergone? Who has undergone? Is it
Has
correct?
undergone, you cannot write. How you can write has undergone?
Underwent.
Who he and who has undergone. Who?
So grammatically, it is not correct.
Correct.
He underwent.
Underwent.
He underwent.
Yes.
Okay. Then
See, and you are writing to a particular person. You are writing to a particular person with the name here in this letter, right?
yeah,
You
yeah,
are writing to Samantha Brun. So
yeah.
a name is given. So I think it is better. You can write, I am writing to update you. So
Okay, okay.
you
Update
can
you.
write you also to a
Okay,
particular person you are writing that story.
okay, okay.
So I think it is better to write, I am writing to update you regarding the current health status of Mr. Gerald.
Okay. Yeah. After name, you have to put a comma. Is it necessary?
Yes.
Okay.
You can, I think nowadays people are saying it is not
Not
necessary.
Necessary. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the difference in opinion. Still,
Okay.
it still depends.
Okay.
Whether you are, I think you need a comma, in my opinion. It's better to put a comma
comma.
after the name.
Okay.
If I am writing, definitely I will put a comma.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Then you can write who underwent left hip replacement surgery or who is recovering after a total hip replacement surgery or who is progressing after a left total hip replacement surgery. It's up to you
Okay, okay.
how you are writing. Here I wrote who is progressing after a left total hip replacement surgery. Sorry, I didn't write surgery, hip replacement.
Okay.
If you are
Please
mentioning
repeat once again. Who recovering?
who is progressing after
Who is progressing after
total hip replacement.
progressing
Here
after replacement?
you must write A before left total hip replacement surgery. That
Okay.
article is needed because
Okay, sir.
surgery, it's a surgery, a particular name of the surgery you are mentioning. So it is a countable noun. So you have to write an article before that.
Before.
If you are just mentioning surgery, then no need article. Surgery is not uncountable. Surgery is uncountable.
So who is progressing after a total hip replacement?
Yes.
Am I correct? Okay. Thank you.
If you are writing diagnosis first. Okay. Then he requires full stop. He requires
Continuing care and monitoring.
How we are writing? Continuing care and monitoring following his discharge today.
Today.
You can stop like that, or if you continue because you are transferring back the patient to the nursing home, you can write, if you want, you can write discharge back today. Discharge today back to your home, to your nursing home. If you want, you can include
Discharge back to your care.
Yes, back to your care, back to your home, back to your nursing home. These all up to you. If you want, you can write. If you don't need, you don't need to write.
Okay.
But the main thing, you have to initiate and you have to include the patient details. You must have the patient diagnosis or the chief issue or complaint or medical issue, main issue, and the purpose. So here in the letter, the 4 things you included already.
Yes.
So that's fine.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Without error, without grammatical error.
Yeah.
So I think all understood how to write the introduction.
Brother, just a minute. Can we write he is recovering from a left total knee replacement?
You can write he is recovering from, but in my point of view, it's better after.
After, okay.
Why, it's more apt for before a surgical intervention. It's better if it is a disease condition like pneumonia or asthma or something, you can write from.
Okay, so for
Because it's a
surgeries and
procedure,
any procedure, we will write
more apt is
after.
after.
Okay,
And it doesn't mean that if you are writing from, it is wrong. Both are correct, but it's more apt after. That's all. If you will write from, I think nobody is going to penalize you.
Excuse me,
Okay.
brother.
thank you, thank you.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I have written like this. I write this letter to update you regarding the current health status and to request follow-up care for Mr. Baker, who underwent a left hip replacement surgery. He has improved well and is being discharged today. Is it correct? Follow-up care, if I write.
It's okay. In the beginning part, your written is okay, I think. But he is recovering well and discharged today. I don't think you don't need to include that much information. If he is recovering well or no, these informations we are writing in the remaining paragraph.
Okay.
So it is not
then-
necessary to include all the informations in the introductory paragraph. We need the necessary information.
Okay, then how can this who underwent a left total hip replace surgery and is being discharged, but we have to write the present condition of the patient, no? In the
Present
introduction.
condition you will write in the remaining paragraph. You must write, no, in the remaining paragraph what happened in
Yes.
the
So
hospital.
I am asking that, is it
Okay.
necessary to?
Why? No, let me tell you. Why he is admitted in the hospital, what are the things he received in the hospital, and how he is progressing in the hospital, what is his present condition, we will write in the remaining paragraph.
Okay.
Write recommendation without a presenting situation.
Okay.
So you must write recommendation paragraph in the last. So before that, you must write his present situation.
Okay, there is no need to write the present situation of the
Yes, if
patient.
you will write present situation here in the introduction, again it will be a repetition.
Yes. Okay. Okay, thank you, brother.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Hello, sir.
not sir.
Good evening.
Please.
Sir,
not
I
a
am
teacher.
writing. Okay, I am writing to refer Mr. Baker, who is known to you, request and management as he is being discharged today. Is it correct or no, sir?
Pardon? Can you repeat again?
I am writing to refer Mr. Baker, who is known to you, request continuing care and management as he is being discharged today.
See, you can write how you need to write, but it's I can say it's not a fine introduction because you are right. You don't need to refer this patient. Actually, they know this patient already. So why you want to refer him? You are not referring them for a special care or a particular care. This patient was under the care of the same nursing home before, and you are just given you have given your care in the hospital, and you are just transferring back to their care. The same care they are repeating with what is the necessary care which they need to include with the previous care. That's all. You are not referring. It's not a referral letter. So why you need to write refer?
Okay, sir, I can understand.
Okay. So see, even if you are writing refer, even I cannot say it's wrong completely, or any others cannot say wrong. You can write refer also, but the better way, when you will think the same question I asked you, the same way if you will think, you feel it is not the better introduction. That's all. See, if the reader whom you are writing in their point of view, they will think in the same way which I asked you, then they feel it is not good. It will affect in your marks. That's all.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Please, I am not a sir. I am not a teacher. I am one of the OET aspirants from this platform. Maybe I am little bit earlier here before you people. I have joined in this group and I have learned many things from here in this platform, and with the great help and guidance and care of our beloved Father Salim Joseph. So you can call me your brother. We are all in one family. So please, I am not a teacher. Just I am sharing the information which I got from this platform and what are the things I know. That's all. The remaining paragraph, I don't think I don't need to explain you. You know what are the things. I already told you what are the things to be included. The next body paragraph, it must be the explanation of the explanation of this introduction. Why you wrote such an introduction, you have to clarify in your remaining paragraph. The most relevant information you must include. I mean, this is a non-letter, so you are writing only the things which is happening in the hospital. So what happened in the hospital, you have to write. You can write, if you need, you can write the admission date. In my opinion, even if admission date also not needed, they know the admission date. So he admitted here for a surgery, and post-operatively what happened, that you need to write. So what was happened post-operatively, immediately after the surgery until the discharge, what was happened in the hospital, all these things you have include. Post-operatively, Mr. Baker, what was his condition and what was the situation, what are the things you have given, and in your assessment, what is his present condition and how he is able to discharge now. In 1 or 2 or 3 paragraphs you can write. Then you can write all the recommendation in 1 paragraph, then 1 sentence with the conclusion. That's all. You have any doubt in the remaining paragraph? Anyone have any doubt?
Brother, excuse me.
Yes.
When we write the name of a tablet or medicine, is it not necessary to start with uppercase? P
It's not
capital.
necessary with the capital letter.
For example, Panadin Fort, P is capital letter, it's not necessary.
It's not necessary. It's necessary only with some medications with the trade name. It's
Okay,
not
sir.
for all medications.
Okay.
Yeah, then you can do a better option if in the case note they have given in capital letter. It is better to write capital. If it is small letter, you can write in the small letter. This is a better way you can write, because you cannot identify all the medications, which is the trade name and which is the generic name.
Siji brother, can I interrupt?
Yeah, sure.
In case if you are confused with writing the name of the medications which is given in the case note, it is better to follow what is written in that case note, because if it is written in a small letter, you can just copy like that. Because as per the there is no stipulated rule, but in whenever we are getting confused, because we might not be knowing what is the trade name and what is the generic name. In case if you don't know like that, whatever it is written in that case note, we can directly copy like that. If the writing task we are getting like a small letter, then we can directly write like that. There is, I think, there won't be much confusion in that. I hope I'm clear with you.
Yes. Celine.
In this case note, it is given capital only. When adding for the P and F is capital letter.
Okay.
So we can directly like that, write like that. It's okay.
Okay,
Even
sir.
if you are writing small letter, there nobody going to penalize you. But if you are stick to that particular to write small or capital, better to copy from the case note how they are given. Because we don't have a clear information from the OET officials, you have to select like this. Only we got some information like generic and trade name, that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear friend Celine.
Thank you, Celine.
I think all are clear. We can conclude. Can we conclude, or you need to know anything more?
You can conclude, brother.
Check
Yes,
with your
brother.
letter. Check
You can
with your
conclude.
letter.
That's all.
Thank you, Father. It's
Yeah.
because of your support and encouragement, Father.
Okay.
Whenever you
Yeah.
speak, I'm feeling like even I wanted to do something. I am
Yeah.
remembering Siji brother. Did you remember Siji brother when we had a introduction session? You told me that.
Yes.
That time I was attending the session from my school. So that time you were telling me like that.
Yeah.
So all of
Very
your
nice.
encouragement and support, and the way all people are how much they can encourage us, motivate us, they are doing. That is the main thing I'm feeling from this platform. So I don't want to miss anything. Especially many are there. I don't want to mention the name. I'll mention later. So I'm very thankful to everyone. Even they are not spoken with me directly, but I can feel that support and encouragement through the platform. So special thanks to Father Salim. And when I started to do this video, first I thought, okay, it wasn't to do, because that much I struggled. Frankly, I'm telling, because then I thought whenever I saw many videos, those who have done previously, how much effort they have put. Many of them are not watching. Even I was not watching, but definitely I will watch all the videos. I'll find the time to watch all these videos, and I'm recommending everyone, please do watch. It's very much beneficial. Even I couldn't watch Soumya's video, but today I didn't go to school to watch Soumya's video, and I went through each and everything, and I noted down, but I couldn't make a PPT or something. So I wanted to do that. So very so much thank. I no words to say. How can I say thank, Father? I don't know. So I am encouraging, I am support, I am telling everyone, if we come up to do this thing, it is beneficial for us and for others also. So please, I am recommending everyone to come up with your talent. Everyone is talented, but we have to know our talents and is to spend some time for others. So thanks a lot, Father. My husband helped me a lot while during the while taking the video and editing. So I'm very much gratitude of cool Father after coming to this platform, because before when I was doing this OET training, I was so irritated. I was angry with everyone. But today what happened means even if I didn't get the time to read also, I'm so cool. Otherwise I'll be telling when I'll get the time to read, how can I pass OET, like that I used to say. But nowadays I'm so cool. I recommend everyone to come up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Father. You have given me another wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And I got another chance to be with them and share my knowledge, what I got from you. And special thanks to Soumya Sham. She is one of our cornerstone for the platform. Not one of, she's the keystone. Okay. And she called me and she sent me a message that, brother, if you have time, please discuss one case note. And she given in the beginning only, she told me, and she sent all the tasks, and she told whenever you are free, you can choose the day. And I choose this day because I was off. And so special thanks to Sister Soumya. Of course, all empowering team. Thanks from my side. And thanks, Father, again for motivating me. Thank you so much.
Hello, CG brother.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your wonderful explanation, brother. We got a good idea how to write a letter. Thank you so much. You clearly explained it.
Thank you. Thank you.